Dela writes, my MVVs, welcome. Report has it that Ebony, who has been humbled by, the larger family members, have come back to the Great Lion to beg that she was not doing everything just to hurt her husband. She was only trying to conquer the heart of her husband. That she cried so much while she was begging. Now, what is going on? With the affliction, if you have been following the information, if you have been following what we've been posting since yesterday, the demonic affliction, everybody is careful right now. Nobody wants to be caught in between, and nobody wants their family to suffer the fate of those, of what is going on right now. A lot of families right there are suffering, and they are saying it has everything to do with the fact that they decided to keep the jewel outside until the jewel returns. There will be no treatment, and for those who will be lucky enough to be alive at that time, yes, everything will happen, but until the jewel returns. Now, families are washing their hands. They are saying, look, it's not because of you, not because of one person's ambition that everyone will be condemned in the family. We are not going to be a party to this again. Families have washed their hands and all of that. And right now, before they took Irukere to go and beg the Great Lion, they said all of that happened yesterday. They said Ebony also came and stood before the Great Lion, her face drained of pride, her voice, stripped of the arrogance that once made her look unbending. She looked small, not because of her body, but because of what life has done to her in recent times. She had been humble, broken, and shaken to the point where her only strength left was the courage to open her mouth and beg. When she said she had learned her lesson, it was not a line to escape punishment, it was the cry of a woman who has been through fire, touched the arches, and realized that nothing she once fought for was worth the destruction she had brought upon herself. She confessed openly that she was only fighting to conquer the lion's heart, and in that fight, she forgot the limits of respect. She crossed lines, and she made herself an enemy to the very man she claims to love. And she is very, very sorry that the Great Lion should please make her smile permanent again. She wants her smile to remain permanent, that she is locked between the space of not knowing whether she's going to stay or continue to be a part of the royal family the next day, or whether she will be thrown out. And that happens to be the worst place for anyone in this world to be. As she spoke, she begged the Great Lion to make her smile permanent again, not just the smile of a woman who laughed for a moment and then hide her tears at night, but a true smile that comes from peace, safety, and acceptance. Ebony's voice cracked when she admitted that she had been chasing shadows, thinking that control, and dominance would secure love. But now she saw that love is not forced, it is not wrestled into existence, it is given freely. She begged that all the shame, all the disgrace, all the rejection that had followed her in the palace and beyond would end today if only the Great Lion could find it in his heart to forgive her finally. And she was asking for final forgiveness, like she really, really wanted the Great Lion to forgive her finally. Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Dela. I bring you fresh and spicy just from the sauce still on the royal side. How I guys star when I appreciate you. I love you. Share I do oh my people. If you're yet to subscribe, what the hell are you waiting for? Kindly go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and do not forget to turn on the notification bell, and do not forget to give this video a thumbs up. Appreciate you guys so much. I love you. Thank you so much. The fear of her ruin is the beginning of everything. Oh, that Ebony went further to admit that jealousy had blinded her. She wanted to stand where she was not called to stand. She wanted to take a place that was not hers, and in the struggle, she turned herself into a constant source of pain. She told the great lion that her actions were not just about rebellion, but about fear, the fear of being unwanted, the fear of being overlooked, the fear of not being the chosen one. And because of that fear, she lashed out, she fought, she challenged, and she destroyed her own peace. She admitted that no other person did this to her, that she did it to herself for the first time, even when we are all aware that her families have, however, looked for ways to exonerate her, to make it look as if it's other people's fault, not her fault. For the first time ever and ever and ever, Ebony admitted fault, took responsibility, insisted that everything is happening to her because she chose the wrong path. Looking around, Ebony's eyes were red with tears that had not yet dropped. She explained how the whispers of rejection, the cold shoulders, and the loss of respect from people she once commanded had left her feeling naked. She said, "I'm standing here not as the proud Ebony people used to say, but as a woman who has nothing else left except for cry for mercy." She begged the great lion to restore her dignity, not because she deserved it, but because his forgiveness had the power to cover her shame. They say for the first time she confessed that she had compared herself too much to the jewel, that she had wasted her energy trying to compete with a woman who had her place already secured in the heart of, her husband. She admitted that trying to displace the jewel was not only foolish but impossible, because what is divinely established cannot be uprooted by force. Ebony Stone was not defensive this time. It was broken. She said she was tired of carrying bitterness, tired of pretending, tired of struggling to win something that was never hers in the first place. And everybody said, "Emi, Emi." It is not a small something, no, that Ebony came to this level of realization. At this point, she began to tremble. She told the great lion that she was ready to live in peace. Even if it meant taking, the back seat, she was ready to show respect, to stay quiet, to rebuild her life in a way that would not bring more shame to her family or her name. She begged that the great lion should not carry hatred for her in his heart anymore, because if he did, then she would remain crushed forever. She said she had seen how others had turned their backs on her, how elders who once cheered her, no longer mention her name with pride, and how even her own family was tired of pleading on her behalf. And she's not going to continue that. She has seen how gospel is gathering momentum, that if she had laid down at that time where gospel decided to give up, as in to allow everything stay, by this time things would have been better for her. She would not be in this merry-go-round situation where she's begging the great lion today, she's begging the great lion tomorrow, that she's ready to start from the drawing board. She's going back to the drawing board. She's ready to draw, but the lion needs to give her another chance, that she is tired. She is not going to do that anymore again. Yes, so with shaking hands, Ebony admitted that all she wanted now was a second chance, not necessarily to rise higher, but simply to breathe again without the weight of guilt. She said she wanted her smile back, a real smile this time, that would not fade when she returns home, that she reminded the great lion that everyone makes mistakes, but only the wise knows when to admit and change. She said, "I have learned my lesson. I have seen what happens when you fight against the current of destiny. I don't want to fight anymore. I just want peace." But does everybody truly want peace? They say she begged, she humbled. She said that she is ready to work with the jewel when the jewel comes back in November. This is what is going on. They said everybody, the entire Oloris, everyone right now is tilting towards the direction of the jewel. They are ready to work with her. They are ready to jumpstart their lives with her, for peace to reign. That is what is going on now. And everybody is saying it's because of that affliction that people are submitting out of fear that it is not realistic. That is what people are saying right now. That all of these people who are submitting, they are submitting out of fear that their submission is not realistic, and that all these people who are giving the jewel their hands now, that the jewel needs to be very, very careful. I'm going to bring you more update. Do not forget that these are all alleged, rumored, unverified information making the rounds on social media and shouldn't be seen as fact.